play for him and play like he plays, and that's smart, tough, and dependable. So,
Mac, this is the first time, well, it's Tom Brady, but this is the first time you're going against an established star in the league. Have you thought about that and what that's going to be like for you on Sunday night?
Not really. I mean, it's really just us against the other team, and that's how it always will be. And it's not like one person versus one person. So I think that a lot of it is 11 on 11, and that's what goes into it, and that's how they're going to look at it. That's how every team looks at it. It's just you're getting a chance to compete in a primetime game, and it just kind of is what it is.
Mac, as you were growing up, did you ever try to emulate Tom Brady or pick apart certain pieces of his game, and what were some of those?
Yeah, I watched a lot of NFL football and college football growing up, so just watching teams that were good, like the Patriots, obviously learning a lot from all the quarterbacks I got to see on TV and different things that they do, just getting the ball out and moving the offense down the field. So nothing specific, just in general, just trying to, when you're young, you just want to watch and learn, and a lot of it for me was like the X's and O's, so just learning the X's and O's and offensive football and the detail that goes into it. So I've always just enjoyed watching good quarterbacks who know how to do that.
Mac, you've obviously dealt with pressure your entire life, but when you think about going against, obviously, the Bucs defense, but Tom Brady's on the other side of the field, do you feel any additional pressure just knowing that you were the guy who's essentially taking his place as the franchise quarterback?
I think it just goes back to really with pressure, you just got to focus on doing what you're supposed to do. And people who have jobs in high-pressure situations, that's what they do. They do their job really well, and they prepare really hard. So it's all you can control. And once the hay is in the barn, the hay's in the barn, and you just got to go play. And I think everyone will be excited, and we're just going to be ready to play when it happens.
Josh was talking about emotional response, your emotional response in general to anything, good, bad.
Yeah.
How much do you work on that and focus on having the right emotional response, or what you feel is the right emotional response to situations?
Yeah, I think emotions are a good thing and a bad thing, and you just have to learn how to control them. And it's hard when you play with a lot of passion and stuff, but you just want to kind of be like an ice man, just nice and smooth, calm, cool, and collected. So you just got to keep your eye on what's important and focus on that. And highs, lows, doesn't matter. Just I can do a better job of that, and I've worked really hard to do that. And well, the older guys in our team do a good job of just staying steady and just slowly let things happen.
Mac, you've faced a lot of blitzes so far in the first 3 weeks of the season, and the Bucs are known for blitzing quarterbacks as well. So I'm just wondering how you feel it's going for you guys when the defense does blitz against you.
Yeah, I think blitzing, people do that. I mean, that's part of certain people's strategies, especially versus younger quarterbacks and stuff. So just watch the tape and see what they've done and try and react. And I mean, it's part of the game. It's not like anybody's going to be able to sit back there and they're just going to bring three or whatever. They get to choose, and you just have to react to what it is. And yeah.
Mac, when you brought up Tom either today or in the past, it seems like you might be a little reticent to acknowledge him or just kind of say his name. And I don't know if you see it as just kind of problematic, just with the stories that have come out about, he had an influence on obviously growing up and what he's maybe meant to you personally, if you feel comfortable talking about that now.
Yeah, I think just like you said, growing up, just seeing different quarterbacks play was always very helpful to me, regardless of the team, regardless of the player. And he's someone that's played for a long time and done it the right way. So you definitely want to be able to watch someone like that growing up and being able to emulate them in any part you can in your game, and just take what they do and learn from it. And that's with anything. You want to look at people who are successful, and you want to look and see how they do it. So that applies to anybody in this room or whatever you may be doing. So
along those lines, when you say done it the right way, what does that mean to you? Isn't it not just performance on the field and stats and all that? What does it mean done it the right way?
Yeah, I think just coming to work every day and kind of just blocking out the noise and focusing on what you have to focus on. And that's what really good players do. They just show up every day with the same positive attitude, and they come to work and they grind through the hard days, and work through all the problems that they have and keep pushing. So that's common trait, like a common trait between people who are successful. They just, whatever adversity they face, they just keep moving forward.
Mac, have you had any kind of interaction in the past with Tom, and if so, what was that like?
No, I haven't. Obviously, I've, like I said, just watching football growing up is just a lot of it, but no personal like interactions or anything like that. But yeah.
Matt, what are some of the things that Coach Belichick, as you continue to improve week by week, keeps stressing to you, keeps emphasizing so that you continue to try and improve?
Yeah, I think that's just private stuff that we talk about, but there's things that are obvious that I need to improve, and I know what they are, and I have them highlighted in my improvement journal or whatever you want to call it. So I know what it is, and there's a lot of work to be done, and that's part of the problem. Like you're saying, you just have to identify, hey, what can I do better, and ask questions, and don't be shy about it. Just say, hey, what can I do here? Or what drill or what thing can I do to improve this? So.
Is each page, like a long list every week? Is it getting shorter, getting longer? What's in that journal?
Yeah, I think just sometimes you can do too much, so I always try to just pick one thing each day to get better at, whether it's like bending my knees or like find this on the defense or whatever. So just pick one thing and kind of just move on from there. And because if you try to focus on too many things, then you kind of are all over the place.
Mac, if we go from the preseason to even last week's game, and even in talking to Jacoby Myers, he says there's a comfort level with the hurry up in the 2 minutes. Why is there such a comfort level with that when you guys go to that?
I think it just goes back to practice, and practice execution becomes game reality. So you just have to do it in practice and then apply it to the games. And there's still a lot of work to be done, but I think we've done a good job. Just all of that's about communication and working together as 11 people. So we've done that pretty good, but we got to just keep growing on it and keep adding stuff and find different ways to be creative.
Were you close to calling the rock, paper, scissors shoot on that one?
Yeah, that was close. A couple more, a few more words, and I was like, huh?
Stop the fight.
What'd you say?
They mentioned on a TV broadcast, I think a couple weeks ago, that you and Bill have been meeting on Tuesdays to kind of just go over whatever it is that you might go over. Is that the case for you two?
Yeah, I mean, we try to meet and with the quarterbacks and stuff and figure out just situational stuff, which helps. And I can't go into details on that, but it is really beneficial, just whether it's the team we're playing or whoever, just watching football, hearing it from a great coach like him, and get advice from the guys in the room that have played for a lot longer than I have. So just listening and trying to see what they see and pick up on things, and definitely helps just kind of start the week off right, I guess you could say.
Matt, there was a question, earlier from Evan about sort of picking, blitzing, and you guys have obviously gotten a lot of pressure. One of the things about Tom was at times he was sort of his own best pass protection.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you can do as a quarterback when they're doing that, getting the ball out faster to sort of help the offensive line against that? And do you look at that as an opportunity for you to sort of be your own pass protection in a way?
Yeah, I mean, just it goes back to doing what I'm supposed to do. If they bring this blitz, then I'm supposed to throw this pass, and that's kind of what it comes down to. So it's not overcomplicating it, but I'm not going to change anything that I've been doing or anything like that. And the offensive line's done a good job, and I've said that numerous times that I can do a better job of getting the ball out, and not necessarily fast, but just whoever's supposed to get it to them, and that'll just kind of take care of itself with the reps and practice and stuff like that.
Mac, I know you didn't do a lot of traditional kind of under center, turn your back around play action passing in college, and I'm not trying to compare, and that's not necessarily relevant, but is there still a growing comfort level with that, or anything new that you're doing here that you might not have a ton of experience with?
Not really. I just think of like high school. I never took really any shotgun snaps, so I feel really comfortable with it. But yeah, it's definitely different. I didn't do a lot of it in college or whatever, but it doesn't matter what the play is. I gotta execute it, and it doesn't really affect me either way. But it's just getting the reps in practice, under center, shotgun, wherever I am on the field. It doesn't really matter. Just execute the play.
Matt, how does the approach change knowing that they can put up points in bunches and can score a lot?
What'd you say?
From your offensive point of view, knowing that they can put up a lot of points on their end, does that change your approach at all?
I think just listening to our coaches and kind of what we want to do is just focus on, today. I know that sounds cliche, but we can't really focus on, what's going to happen in the game and stuff. We just we had a good practice and the defense had a good practice. So we got to play together. That is one thing that we want to do. And every team that wins usually plays together on all three phases. So if we can do that, I think things will be good.
Matt, how do you strike a balance between, obviously, no player wants to get accustomed to losing, but you came from a program where I think in the time you were there, it only lost 4 games total.
Yeah.
How do you strike a balance between not wanting to lose, but not letting it bother you to the point that it could impact you down the line?
Yeah, that goes more back to process for me. Just continue to, I'm putting all the work I can do every week and just sticking to my schedule, and all the other guys have their routines, and obviously it takes time to mesh together. It's not like it's all built in one day, and it is frustrating sometimes, but we've already flipped a page and it's a new week and a new day, and that's really all you can do is just, what did I do last week that maybe I can improve on, and then just go from there. And you can only pout and be sad about it for 24 hours in my opinion, but some people move on quicker than that even, and that's always good. You just turn the page, most importantly learn, and then continue to grow in the next week.
3 games in, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned about being an NFL quarterback?
I think just handling adversity. Things aren't always going to go perfect, and they're never going to go perfect, honestly. In the NFL, there's good players on both sides of the ball, and it just goes back to practice execution and just trying to learn and keep moving forward, and like I said, improve on one thing every day and just go from there. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Max.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.